and this is really healthy price action. So to see some kind of pullback from here down to this kind of 27k range is definitely going to be very exciting. Isaiah is asking me what are my profit strategies, my take profit strategies. Yeah, so as you know, I am still in my long position, and I'm basically right back up to the highs. This screenshot was taken when the price was 30,700, and we are now just basically $800 below that. So I'm basically right back up to the top of this position. I've already secured beautiful gains on this position. I didn't get an update screenshot, I haven't had time, but this has gone phenomenally well, and like I've told you guys, I did make this trade on Bybit. This is still, always will be, I think, hopefully, the best exchange in the crypto space. You can check it out with this link in the description down below. And I have been in this position on Bybit, and as for my profit-taking strategy, because I'm using 10x leverage, I'm making a lot of money very quickly with these price moves. So I'm just going to keep taking profits off the table as we keep going up, and I'm basically going to do it in a way where I still want a meaningful amount of money in the trade at all times. Because here's something that's interesting, right? I was actually sat with one of my friends, 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗘𝗦, some of you know him, and he was telling me, Sammy, you should consider keeping your position open even if we go up to levels like 40, 50k, because if we do go up there, my entry is all the way down in the 20s, right? And this is really important. So before I even talk to you about my profit taking strategy, I'm going to talk to you about how I'm going to continue developing this position. What I want you to keep in mind is if we go up to a level like 50k or 40k, it's very possible for steep corrections, right? We can correct down to 25k, we can correct down to 30k, we can have really steep corrections in the market if we rally up very high. And especially with the kind of price action that we have right now, this kind of price action invites whipsaw price action like this. And I'm drawing it like this, but it actually probably happened in like a day or two, and then something like that. I mean, it can be extremely quick and extremely uncomfortable. And in order to make myself comfortable, I want my stop loss to be as low as possible. I still want my stop loss to be in a profit, which it is, but I want my stop loss to be in a place where even if we do move up and then crash down, I don't want to come anywhere near my stop loss. So the way I'd continue to operate this position is, look, this could go much higher, and I'll talk about that with you in the rest of this live stream. We could be looking at a much higher Bitcoin price. I want to be realistic with you, obviously, because at the same time, I think a lot of people FOMOing in is definitely going to cause some problems in this market. But for me, the biggest priority, if I do want to keep this position running for the much longer term, is simply, going to be making sure that if the price does have steep corrections, that it doesn't take me out. And that's much more important than the profit-taking strategy, in my opinion, because having an entry at a very good level like here, I don't know if we're going to come back down to 21k. We may never do that. We might. I don't know. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that kind of thing. And so, it's very comfortable knowing the stop loss is there. And then as for taking profits, obviously a lot of us are in some profits with this market. For me, it's going to be at the next key levels. So I'm going to go to the key levels with you later on. There are levels like 36k, 38, 40k. I'll talk to you about those in just a little bit. But first, I do want to cover the rest of this price action. Obviously, Jerome is asking, should I enter now? Obviously, I'm not going to answer questions like that. But a lot of people are going to be panicking, wishing that they were in the market, wishing that they have actually been able to just be in the market and take their longs right now. And this is something which I think a lot of people are going to be struggling with. So I think, some sort of correction here, could be a really, really nice opportunity. If we take a look at where that might happen with the daily EMA ribbon, we are actually getting all of these crossovers now. But these EMA ribbons, if we're able to hold up here, I told you guys the best case scenario would be that we just kind of consolidate here instead of pulling back. If we do something like that, these EMAs right here, they're probably going to be quite nicely in our green box range, which stretches from 27.4 to 28.2. And at the very same time, we do have phenomenal Ichimoku support in this very same price range. So, we've got really nice long-term indicators showing us that we should be okay at these kind of price levels. We've also, of course, got absolutely beautiful moving averages here. We've got the 50-day moving average here, which has given the market some support and resistance, and this is kind of curving up now. You can see with this, the prediction of this moving average line, we are starting to see this moving average curve up a little bit into this box. We've got the 200-day moving average here. We've also got the weekly moving averages. We've got the 200-week moving average right here. It's just going to be, at this green box, basically just a little bit below it towards the end of July. So if we're looking at, I don't know, something a little bit like this, just fucking about and then coming back down, there's still going to be weekly 200 moving average support. And I mean, it's hard for me to convey just how significant this is in the market. I mean, it's quite regular. When the market hits this level, even if it doesn't hit it exactly, it does tend to find resistance if we're below the line, and it does tend to find support if we're above the line. And this is actually something that we were talking about on this YouTube channel. So if you were subscribed, you're going to know all about that. And I do just want to give you guys a shout out for tuning in to this live stream. If you are watching this live with me today, thank you all very much for tuning in. Do make sure to hit up those likes if you are looking forward to the rest of this live stream. And if you do appreciate all this analysis, which has been completely on point, we've just, the approach that we've been taking on this channel is quite straightforward, guys. We're just looking at the really basic support and resistance areas and just applying basic fundamentals of technical analysis. We're not really doing anything crazy. We're not doing anything complex. How many minutes are we into this live stream? We're already nearly 20 minutes into this live stream, 15 minutes into this live stream, and I've only shown you moving averages and straight lines and boxes. We're not actually doing any complicated things with this technical analysis, but that is precisely why it works, ladies and gents, and that is precisely why we are able to look at this market with such an objective view and understand what's going on and then predict what might happen in the future with so much accuracy. You can't do this if you're overcomplicating things and stressing yourself out and doing all sorts of weird fringe kind of things with your technical analysis. That's not going to work. What does work very well is sticking to the basics. So these moving averages also kind of lining up with this very same pullback area. So again, and I do want to make it clear, we might not get a pullback. I'm not saying that we will, but if we do, these would be the kind of levels that I'd want to see the market come down to. I am going to be looking at the 𝗬𝗙𝗥𝗙𝗚 dashboard to see when this data refreshes. I don't actually know when it does refresh. I'm changing time zones too much, so I don't actually know what the correct time zone is for this daily candle now. But if we do see this refresh and, we see Binance traders massively piling on the longs again, that will obviously be something that concerns me a little bit. That will definitely be something that weakens my resolve and my confidence just a little bit here. But Bybit is majority long. Binance top traders are majority long. These are all the signs that, this is good. It's only retail that I'm worried about. I don't care if I'm aligning with Binance top traders, and I certainly don't mind if I'm aligning with Bybit traders. These guys just tend to be the best in the market. I don't know why. I don't make the rules, but that's just how it is. But obviously Binance retail, this is where the majority of people who don't really know what they're doing are. By the way, I want to make it clear, it doesn't mean that it's a bad, it doesn't mean it's a bad place to be trading. It just happens to be where bad traders are a lot of the time, especially in larger percentages and quantities, and so if you see these guys kind of piling on too much in one direction, and right now they're piling on the short direction, and obviously we know how that's gone for them because this data is quite old, yet we have shot up by like another more than $1,000 today. It's been quite a spectacular day in these markets here. Look at this correction, guys. We are dropping down so steeply. We've got such a big wick here all the way up to $30,800. We're now down by $800, down by 2.7%. So really very significant pullback right here in this market, and that is just a testament to how strong this area of resistance is, which we already knew. I guess one thing that is a little bit concerning, if we do kind of really analyze this closely, is that the last time Bitcoin's price managed to get up here, we didn't really see such a bad rejection. We kind of, granted, this is our first 4-hour candle, at this resistance level. So a lot can change. And we've actually already seen that, right? This is actually something that Bitcoin does quite commonly is, maybe some pullbacks like this capture some support just a little bit lower, maybe something like, I don't know, over here, and then back up. Or also just candles like this, which, we trade very high within the candle trading session and we close significantly lower. And that's basically what we're doing right now. And obviously that doesn't have to be bearish. The only thing that this means, and I can't stress this enough, the only thing that this means when we form candles like this where we get steep rejections is that there are a lot of sellers here. People just want to take profits. And if people want to take profits, what you need to understand is, we're in a bullish trend. If we look at this chart and really just kind of understand, what this market is telling us, and it's only the same things that we've been discussing continuously on this YouTube channel. Like I've been a broken record just saying the same thing over and over. And like, what can I do? The picture hasn't changed, and that's why I haven't been telling you anything different. We've been in a spectacular uptrend now. Even up to today, it's very clear we're still in this uptrend for 212 days, a very, very long time frame. This is 7 whole months here, guys, that we've been trending upwards on this chart. And so, yeah, naturally, I think there's going to be a good amount of kind of bullish energy in the space. There's not, we don't have reasons to be bearish. I've been telling this to you like in in very, very clear terms. You know, I mean, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ index, I mean, they are performing phenomenally well. Obviously, they're pulling back a little bit now, but that's okay. We don't, you know, that doesn't matter. They've already rallied up by so much. The dollar is just on another rip downwards. Again, exactly as we predicted. You know, I was warning you guys that, you know, this could potentially, you know, behave as a big support area for the dollar, but that if it does, I'm expecting resistance here. And if we don't get resistance here, I'm expecting resistance here. And if we don't get it there, I'm expecting resistance here. So I wasn't, you know, completely right about where we got rejected, but we did punch in a new lower high for the dollar on this chart here, and it has then triggered a really, really big drop. And what's really important about this is that the dollar has been trending down for 3 weeks, but Bitcoin has only been trending up for 1 week. So Bitcoin, you know, didn't really enjoy the first 2 weeks of this trend. Bitcoin didn't really enjoy the first, I mean, how long was this? Yeah, the first like 50 days of this trend almost. I mean, you know, Bitcoin was basically just down here. This was Bitcoin's equivalent level just a week ago. You know, and so Bitcoin didn't really get a chance to experience the same wave at the same time. So it's very clear that now Bitcoin is shining. So, you know, traditional finance perspective, you know, which I think is incredibly important. And the reason it's important is because if traditional finance is strong, crypto tends to be strong. It just happens to be that way. Whether you like it or not, crypto's health is going to be dependent on traditional finance to some extent, because this is where the money's coming from. And money is only going to come from traditional finance if people in traditional finance are making money. If you're making money, you're going to be happy, you're going to be confident, you're going to be greedy. And if you're greedy, you're going to want to make more money. You're going to really be aggressive and try to make more money and take on more risk. And that's when you start looking at things like Bitcoin. When you've made your money on Bitcoin, that's when you start looking at things like Ethereum. Look at Ethereum now, just starting to wake up as well, which is absolutely beautiful. I actually made a video on Ethereum just a little bit earlier today, and it also went on the 𝗬𝗙𝗙𝗚𝗏 daily channel. So definitely do make sure that I've just pressed the wrong button there. Definitely do make sure that you are checking out this content right here on the 𝗬𝗙𝗏𝗏 daily channel. Let me just wait for this page to load up here. This is where you're getting rapid fire altcoin analysis from myself right here, just like this content that you're getting on the main channel. It's all with the top link in the description down below.